My name is Nur Fatin Husnina binti Muhammad Nazri and my matrix number is H20A1514.
Part A, question 1. So here I have choose 50 random sample from appendix 1. So you move to the question, construct two appropriate tables that can be used to describe the data. So size sample equal to 50 sample. Alright, 2 square k is more than n equal to 50. 2 square k equal to 64, so k equal to 6. Now we calculate the class width. Maximum entry subtract minimum entry divide by number of class. So the maximum entry is 308.5, subtract 202.2. So the total is 17.72 round up to 18. So you move to the table. How to get the class? To get the class, the lower entry 202.2 at 18 the class width, and we can get 220.2. So the lower amount for column 1 will be 220.1, and then until the end. Then we need to calculate the frequency. Then we get the total frequency, that is 50. And then we need to calculate the relative frequency and cumulative frequency. How to calculate relative frequency, which is 4 divided by total of frequency. So 4 divided by 50 equal to 0.08 until the end. Then the total of relative frequency will be equal to 1. Then we move to the cumulative frequency. To calculate this cumulative frequency, just add the frequency amount. 4 at 6 equal to 10, 10 at 10 equal to 20, and until the end we can get 50. Alright, that's all for part A, question 1.
Assalamualaikum and selamat sejahtera. My name is Siti Aisyah binti Azman. My matric number is H20A1905. So today I will explain the suitable graphical method to represent the data using the graph. The first graph that I chose is the frequency polygon. So for the frequency polygon, the data that we need to find is the midpoint. To get the midpoint, the formula is lower class limit plus the upper class limit divided to 2. So you will get the data. This is the data that I already get after calculate using the formula. This is how the frequency polygon should look like after we insert the data. The horizontal scale is the midpoint of the data values, meanwhile the vertical scale measures the frequency of the class. So next is the ogive graph. For this graph, the only data that we need to find is the data of upper class boundaries. This is because the data of class, frequency and cumulative frequency we already calculate in the previous step. So, to get the upper class boundaries data, the step is upper class limit plus 0.5 and we will get the data. So this is how the ogive graph should look like. The horizontal scale represents the upper class boundaries, meanwhile the vertical scale represents the cumulative frequencies.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Zohanis binti Jamal Huri. My matric number H20A1423. I will present about measures of central tendency, measures of variation and position. In measure of central tendency, we have mean, median and mode. The formula for mean is S equal to sum of Fs divided by n. In order to calculate the mean, we construct the table which have class, midpoint, frequency and Fs. To get the Fs, we can multiply midpoint and frequency and we get the total for Fs is 30,151.5 and the total for frequency is 50. So we input all the data into the mean formula and we get the answer for mean is 263.03. So the mean price for bungalow is RM 263,030. Next, we move to median. The formula for median is LM plus N over 2 minus sum of FM negative 1 divided by FM and times C. To construct the table as well, we must have class, frequency and cumulative frequency. So first we must find the location of the median class. So N over 2 and we get the answer 25th observation. So the median class is the 25.2 until 274.1 and the lower class boundary is 255.7 the class size is 18.5, and cumulative frequency before median class is 20 and frequency is 7. So we put all the data given into the formula and we get the answer 269.2. Thus about 50% of the price bungalow for given less than RM 269,200 and other 50% more than RM 269,200. Mood. The formula for mood is NM plus data 1 divided by data 1 plus data 2 times C. So to construct the table, we must have class and frequency. To find the low modal class, we should look at the highest number of frequency and we get 274.2 until 291.9, and lower class is 273.7, class size is 70.9, and we get the answer 284.08. So the highest price of bungalow in Kuala Krai is RM 284,018. Measure of variance. This is the formula for variance, which is 1 over n minus 1 times sum of fx square minus bracket sum fx square divided by n. So then we construct the table which have class f as x square, fx and fx square. So the total of fx square is 3,498,212 and 7, and fs is 30,151.5. We put all the data into the formula and we get the variance is 795.38. To get the standard deviation, we square root 795.38 and we get the answer 28.20. So the sample variance is about RM 795,380 and the sample standard deviation is 28,200 ringgit. Lastly, measure of position. So we create the table which have class, frequency and cumulative frequency. So n refers to the number of sample with 50. So to find the Q1 is n over by 4 and we get the answer 12.5, and the class interval is 238.2 until 256.1. The formula for Q3 is 3 times n divided by 4 and we get the answer 37.5, and the class interval is 274.2 until 291.9. The formula for quartile 1 is L Q1 plus n over 4 minus f divided by frequency quartile 1 times C. So this is the data given, which is, and we put all the data into the formula and we get the answer 242.425. The formula for quarter 3 is L Q3 plus 3 times n over 4 minus f divided by frequency quarter 3 times C. So this is all the data, and put all the data into the formula quarter 3 and we get the answer 287.88. Interquartile range. To find the interquartile range, we must calculate the difference between quartile 3 and quartile 1 and we get the answer 50.18. Lastly, shape of data distribution. Mean RM 263,030, median 269,200, mode 284,080. So mean less than median, median less than mode. Therefore, it is skewed to the left.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Zulaikha binti Azahan. My metric number is H20A1708. So we move to the part B. Part B, question 1. Find one set of data that have one independent variable and one dependent variable. The following table show where the yield of the process is thought to be related to the relation temperature. So from the table data, we can see the independent variable is temperature, dependent variable is yield. And then we move to the question number 2. If the data set consists of n 100, then you may select at random n not greater than 100, but n must be at least 13. For example, n 35. So from the data, I choose n 25 for the
My name is Nora Ain Natasha binti Awi. My magic number is #20A1371. Now, I will explain about the correlation coefficient. This is the table. To get the person-product moment correlation coefficient, you must use this formula. Below is the calculation method and the total amount option from the result I calculated. And the last, you must draw the calculation like this for understanding. Thank you.
My name is Nur Anisha binti Muhammad Nur Arifin. My numerator is H2OA1440. So for the next question is develop the estimate regression equation, then interpret the regression equation. So I made another box for me to easier to get sum of this amount. First box is temperature for X, and then yield for Y, and X multiplied by Y, then X square. So the total for each box I put it down. So in order to find regression equation, we need to use this formula, which is Y equal to B naught plus B1X. So for B1 this is the formula. So I put down all the total that I find yearly into the formula. So I calculate it manually. I got it 1.9889. So next I find B naught, which is sum Y divided by N minus B1 multiplied by sum X divided by N. Then just calculate it, and I got 17.47. So the regression equation is Y equal to 17.47 plus 1.6889 X. So interpretation for B naught is when the temperature is 0, the yield is 17.47, and interpretation for B1 is when the temperature increase 1 Celsius, the yield is increased 1.6889.